Hello everyone. In this presentation I am going to explain you about the realization of one flip-flop from the given flip-flop. Okay, so that is really important topic in designing of counters as well. Okay, so please focus on this topic. This is on this page. For your convenience, I have written the characteristic table, excitation table and characteristic equation of all the flip-flops all together. You need not to go anywhere, just remember this page. It is very important. As you can see, we have already covered in lecture number 1, 2, 3 and 4 the characteristic table of all the 4 flip-flops. So if you don't know how to develop the characteristic table, please refer lecture number 1, lecture number 2, lecture number 3 and lecture number 4 for these characteristic table. And from these characteristic table we have developed the excitation table as well. So please refer lecture number 1 for SR flip-flop, lecture number 2 for JK flip-flop, lecture number 3 for D flip-flop and lecture number 4 for T flip-flop. And this is characteristic equation of all the flip-flops. So this is given in lecture number 6. Okay, so this is my lecture number 7. Now how to remember? You have to remember all the tables. How to remember the excitation table? See, there is no method to remember the excitation table, but yes, when I was doing my bachelor's, I have remembered like this. Like if you are remembering the S, it is 0 1 0 cross. Just remember this in the mind, 0 1 0 cross. And if you will see R, it is the opposite of this, so it is cross 0 1 0. So 0 1 0 cross 0 1 0. Okay, for JK flip-flop you have to remember 0 1 cross and it is cross 1 0. So 0 1 cross and it is the opposite of this cross 1 0. For D flip-flop it is the same as the next state, so it is 0 and 0. It is 1 and it is 1. It is 0 and it is 0 and it is 1 and it is 1. It is just the same. For T flip-flop you have to remember the output of the XNOR gate 0 1 1 0. So you have to remember this 0 1 1 0. So please remember the excitation table of all the 4 flip-flops. This is very important in realizing of the one flip-flop from the given flip-flop. So for SR flip-flop I am doing it once again, 0 1 0 cross, and for R it is cross 0 1 0. For JK it is 0 1 cross and for K it is cross 1 0. For D it is same, and for T the output of the XNOR gate. So please remember this whole page. I have written it all together. Slide, I will show you conversion of flip-flops. So the first one is realization of JK flip-flop using SR flip-flop. So these are the steps you have to remember to convert from one flip-flop to the another flip-flop. So the first step is, from given information find given flip-flop and required flip-flop. So you have to read the statement which is given to you correctly. So this is realization of JK flip-flop using SR flip-flop. So from this statement it is clear that the SR flip-flop is given to you and we have to realize the JK flip-flop. So you can see here the given, I have written here SR and the required is JK flip-flop. Okay, so that was my first step, to determine which one is the given flip-flop and which one is the required flip-flop. Now the next step is write characteristic table for required flip-flop and excitation table for given flip-flop. This is really important step. See, if you will not remember like which flip-flop you have to write the characteristic table and which flip-flop you have to write the excitation table, it will not give you the correct answer. So you have to write the characteristic table for the required flip-flop and excitation table for the given flip-flop. Okay, so and the third step is you have to determine the input. Fourth step is determine the simplified expression, and fifth is draw the logic diagram. So step number 3, step number 4 and step number 5, these 3 steps are covered in the next slide, and step number 1 and step number 2 are covered in this slide. Okay, so we have done the step number 1. Now the step number 2. Write characteristic table for required flip-flop. So which one is the required flip-flop? JK. Okay, so we have written the characteristic table of the JK flip-flops. So in the previous slide, the characteristic table is given to you. So we have written the characteristic table. See, you have to remember the characteristic table. It will not be given in the exams. Okay, and the excitation table. This is really important, how to write the excitation table from the characteristic table. So you all know I have written here the excitation table of SR flip-flop. I have told you 0 1 0 cross and cross 0 1 0. Okay, so we have to write the excitation table for SR's flip-flop from the JK flip-flop, from the JK table. So which states we are going to see? We are going to see Qn and Qn plus 1. Okay, so if Qn is 0 and Qn plus 1 is 0, so if Qn is 0, Qn plus 1 is 0, what is S and R? It is 0 and cross. So I have written here 0 and I have written here cross. Okay, in the next table, in the next line step, Qn is 0 and Qn plus 1 is 0. Again, Qn is 0 and Qn plus 1 is 0. What is S and R? It is 0 and cross. So I have written here 0 and cross. Okay, in the next one, Qn is 0 and Qn plus 1 is 1. So 0 and 1. What is S and R? 1 and 0. So I have written here 1, I have written here 0. Okay, in the next one, Qn is 0 and Qn plus 1 is 1. So it is 0 and 1. So we will see here 0 and 1. So what is 0 and 1? It is 1 and 0. So I will write here 1 and 0. Now in the next one, Qn is 1 and Qn plus 1 is 1. So Qn is 1 and Qn plus 1 is 1. So for 1 and 1, what is S and R? It is cross and 0. So I have written here cross and 0. For Qn equals to 1 and Qn plus 1 equals to 0, what is S and R? 1 and 0. 0 and 1. So I have written here 0 and 1. Okay. Now here Qn is 1 and Qn plus 1 is 1. So for 1 and 1, S and R is cross and 0. So I have written here cross and 0. Now in the last one, Qn is 1 and Qn plus 1 is 0. So Qn is 1 and Qn plus 1 is 0. So what is S and R? It is 0 and 1. So it is 0 and 1. Okay. So we have finished the excitation table from the characteristic table. Now the step number 3, 4 and 5 we will cover in the next slide. Step number 3. See, this is the table we have done here in the previous slide. Okay, I have written here it again to show you how to do the K map here. Now Qn, J and K are the given inputs. So we will write Qn, J, K. Now which variable K map we will use? We will see the input combination. So there are how many input combinations? 8. So if there are 8 combinations, so we will use the 3 variable K map. If there is 16, then we will use the 4 variable K map. So here we will use the 3 variable K map. So it is the 3 variable K map. Now because we have to design the given is sorry, we have to design the S. Sorry. So now we have to determine the equation for S. Is it clear to you? We have to determine the equation for S. So how to find the S? We will see here the S, the line for this S. Wherever it is 1 and cross, we will fill the 1 and the cross in the K map. So 1 is on the position number 2, 3, 4 and 6. So 2 and 3 is 1, 4 and 6 is cross. So we have filled here the 1 and cross and cross. Now we will do the pairing. Because the cross, the don't care condition, it is not necessary to include these don't care condition in the pair. Okay, so we are making a pair of this, only this 1 and 1. Okay, so here we will see at the left it is 0. 0 means we will write Qn bar. So I have written here Qn bar. When we will see at the top, it is 1 1 and 1 0. So what is the thing which is common? It is 1 which is common. So we will write J. So I have written here J. So we have determined the equation for S. The equation for S is Qn bar J. Okay. Now we will determine the equation for R. So again we will see where is the don't care condition and 1 for R. So the don't care condition is at is at 0 and 1, and then it is 5 and it is 7. So 5 and 7 is 1, and 0 and 1 equals to don't care. 0 and 1 is don't care. So now we are going to make a pair. So 1 and 1 we have make a pair. There is no requirement of using these don't care in this pair. Okay, so we have made the pair 1 and 1. So we will see at the left it is 1. So for 1 we will write Qn, and at the top it is 0 1 and 1 1. So what is the thing which is common? It is 1, and 1 is at the second place, so we will write K. So what is the equation of R? R equals to Q and K. Okay, so we have determined we have done the K map, step number 3. We have done the simplified expression, step number 4. And now the last step, we have to do the logic diagram. See, we have to make the JK flip-flop using the SR flip-flop. Okay, so this is the SR flip-flop. It is given to you. So SR flip-flop, we have made the block diagram of SR flip-flop. So S and R, two inputs, Qn and Qn bar are the outputs here, and we have determined the equation of S. What is the equation of S? Equals to J Qn bar. Okay, that means J and Qn bar are connected with the AND gate because they are multiplying each other. So this is the AND gate. Input will be J and Qn bar. And what is Qn bar? This is the output here. So we have connected the Qn bar here like this, and we have given the AND gate, and this J Qn bar is equal to S. So this will be feed to S. Is it clear to you? Now the next one is R equals to Qn into K. That means one input is K, one input is Qn, and they both are connected with the AND gate. So what I have done here, this is my AND gate. Okay, one input is K and another is Qn. So where is my Qn? Qn is one of the output of the SR flip-flop. So I have connected Qn with this. Then I have multiplied, that means I have connected K and Qn with the AND gate. And then this output is feed to the R input. So this output is feed to the R input. So this is my logic circuit diagram. That means using the SR flip-flop, I have basically determined the JK flip-flop. So this is the JK flip-flop using the SR flip-flop. So please remember, the first step is to determine which one is the required flip-flop, which one is the given flip-flop. Then we have to do the excitation table of the SR flip-flop. Then we have to do the K map, we have to do the expression, and we have to do the logic diagram. So these are the only 5 steps. Now in the next slide, these are the 6 questions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first one is RS flip-flop to D flip-flop, RS flip-flop to T flip-flop, JK flip-flop to T flip-flop, D flip-flop using JK flip-flop, RS flip-flop to JK flip-flop, and D flip-flop to T flip-flop. So there are only 6 questions for your practice to apply the previous slides. Okay, so this is your assignment I have given to you. Please solve all these 6 questions for me, and please paste your answers in the comment section. Thank you.